Hello, everyone. Good evening. So today is our fourth session in WCC AI Learning Series. Hope you're enjoying till now all the sessions and you have looked at the code and recording if you missed. So today the topic is what we wanted to build. So that was a vision to start building AI agents. And we'll be using Google ADK, which is the open source agent development kit. And you can do a lot of things with it. And let's go to the introduction for WCC. So women coding community is a safe place. We are a movement helping women build community and in their careers and helping everyone in technology. There are lots of clubs going on. For example, book club, writing club. We just started again. There are coding clubs happening. Lots of help regarding interviews, cracking in your interviews and CV. There's CV reviews happening, and there is also open source contribution. And a major one is the mentorship program, which we run. I think it's finishing this month, but it will start again next year. So that's really, you will meet amazing people. So if you want to join as a mentor or mentee, look out for the links. So these are the links you see on the screen to join us. So we have Slack, very busy. There are lots going on there, as I said. So if you scan this QR code, you can join our Slack. And there's lots happening in meetups. We are running a Christmas coding challenge from tomorrow, I think. That'll be running till Christmas. So that'll be going to be great. So if you want to join and see what happens there. And also there is a MVP using AI session, which I'm really interested in. So hopefully you can join as well. So that's all about us. Okay. Oh, you clicked on it? Okay. Over to you, Sonali.
Hello, everyone. Just a little introduction about me and Sonika. So we have been in tech for more than a decade, plus additional years, and we have been working with a lot of different technology, cloud technology, predominantly different programming languages as well. And we are here to share our knowledge, what we have learned so far about AI, and how we connected is amazing, a different amazing story as well. So we connected via WCC, and we participated in some amazing hackathons as well. So you can see Sonika has joined and participated in some more hackathons this year, and I've contributed in some of the hackathons myself this year, and there were some of the hackathons we worked together as well. So whatever we have learned so far and still learning, we wanted to share with you all. That's why this series. So let's dig into what we have covered so far, what's the journey looks like. So we have covered AI fundamentals, prompt engineering, and introduction to RAG in our previous sessions. So if you have missed those sessions and if you would like to know, we have all our recordings available on our YouTube channel. So all the links, we will be adding those links in the meetups as well. But if you are on Slack, you will be able to get hold of these links, and simply on YouTube, even if you go to YouTube and write Women Coding Community, you can find all the content there as well. For today, we are going to look at session 4, which is AI agents. And today we are going to talk about what is an AI agent, how an agent is different to a chatbot, some tips around what is Google ADK, and the actual demo of building an agent using Google ADK, which was, I felt like, came very handy for developers. You don't have to think too much about it. You can simply use it as a library, a framework, whatever you want to call it. And it's easier to build your agents quicker. So that was the power of Google ADK. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate to you as well. So a quick recap, what we covered in the last session. So it was an amazing session about RAG, and we got introduced to RAG by Sonika, and she explained us what embeddings are, how embeddings take an important role in creating a context for our LLM to respond promptly and with accurate results. Then we talked about vector databases, chunking, and some chunking strategies as well. So this was a recap. Uh, so what's today? So what is an AI agent, basically? All these things were very fluid last year. So many things have changed in AI space. So till I think when ChatGPT came on boarded, we all were simply playing with text. We were asking questions. But then the concept of AI agent got popular this early this year. And what the AI agent does, it does more than a text. It is simple a system that can perceive its environment. It can understand your context. It can reason, think, and take actions. And here, if you think about LLM, the LLMs are the actual brain to make these decisions rather than a simple predictions that we were doing in the previous generations or the tools we had. So rather than simply predicting what the text would be or what I have to respond, it takes a lot of different loops and steps to perform a task. With AI agents, we talk a lot about AI tools, AI agent tools as well. So unlike standard model, an agent is equipped with tools. So what tools are that when you ask ChatGPT a question, it can simply respond what with the information it has trained on. So I'm talking about the model or the functionality we had in ChatGPT, I would say prior to this year. So if you look at models 4.1 and ChatGPT, when we were using 4.1 model, we were just using, or whenever I actually used a lot of stuff like trying to look out for rather than Google, I was using ChatGPT. But the problem was the information I was getting out of ChatGPT was simply based upon the context or the trained data it has trained on by the time the model was released. But the agents get a step ahead. Here we have given the LLMs an additional tools. So as an example, it can search the web now. It can query a database. It can send email as part of your tool implementation, which are all custom. And this was the gap that was came handy when you're building an agent and you're talking about interpreting what my request is and actually performing that. So before AI agent, you would ask ChatGPT how to do it, and you will do it yourself. But with agents coming in picture, that gap has been, I would say, somehow been closer. There are certain tasks that you can simply automate, it can understand, and it can execute that task for you. So coming back to how it works. So this is a snapshot I will be covering as part of my example as well. So in an agent, it actually reason and act, and it is like a loop. It continuously perceive, think, and if you have used Claude and latest models in different, like in Gemini or ChatGPT or Claude, you would see that they auto fix or autocorrect themselves as well. So they are observing, like an example here, I would like to ask, I'm building, the example here is more like a coordinator. So you can think of an AI agent as an virtual coordinator. And in the virtual world, I'm asking the agent, find me a mentor. So it has like, this is a question, then it thought that, okay, do I need to query the database for the available mentors? And if that's so, then the agent will go and use a tool called find mentor, which will actually make a database call, retrieves the data, and present it to the user in a very natural way. So it is basically perceive, think, and act. And it continuously tries to do for multiple tasks, not for just one task. So when I started building on top of it, or if you are following this series, you will think like the chatbot was doing the same. So you can rely on a chatbot. You could ask some questions. It was giving you some answers. But I would like to highlight that there is a stark difference between a chatbot and an AI agent. And how is a different? What is the difference here? So a chatbot simply relies on a pre-trained internal knowledge. So there is, yes, there are concepts of adding RAG and embedding the informations, but the missing part here would be the actual action. So it won't be able to use any external tools to do an action. So that's a difference between a chatbot, which is more like a passive user here, whereas an AI agent, you are actually connecting it into a real-time system. So as an example, if you go to Gemini and if you are going to just ask some basic questions, it can answer you from the trained data it had, the model was created on. But if you want to get a real-time update and say like, oh, do this Google search and find me the latest results, it would definitely be invoking a tool behind it. So it is like an agent working on real-time information. And then based upon the ask, it can perform some task as well. Any questions so far? I can quickly check in the chat as well. Okay. Okay, so when you will start building these AI agents, then you will think about how they are different to a traditional application. And this was the thinking that was going in my mind when I was building an AI agent. I was like, why? I think I was doing some of the bits in my traditional application already. But here are some differences. What makes AI agent quite different to a traditional application? So if you remember, in most of the forms or information that we input on our websites, any application, it has a strict form. So you have to in a name, you have to put in your name details. In an email, you have to put in your email, and so on and so on. And then you have to put a validation. So there are layers and layers of implementation when you are just to input the data, to get the information from the user. At the same time, if you look at an AI agent perspective, it speaks naturally. So you don't have a very strict, I would say, a strict contract here, in the sense that you don't have to fill a particular form. You can speak, or you can type in a way, whatever, in wherever format you want. You can provide details, you can miss some details, and it can tell you whether this information is required to proceed or it is not required. Then comes the conditional part. So in traditional applications, if you think, we have to think of so many use cases, edge cases, that if this happens, that happened, if that happened, this will happen. So all that logical thinking, I would say, that has been combined to our LLMs and semantic search. So here you can think of RAG coming in picture if you want to extend and have your agent respond correctly, then you can think of having your data, like your documents, indexed correctly. And then you can use your LLM to perform all that logic and thinking and giving you a responding correctly. So you don't have to have those logical maps of if else that are endless in your agent. But that's the difference between a traditional application, building a traditional application, and working on an agent. From a user perspective, as I mentioned earlier as well, that it has to follow a specific path. Like in an example, we have to follow a certain path to enter the forms in a right way. So it makes the application more rigid, and we have to work really hard on user experience and creating the right integration between the front end and the back end. But in the AI agent world, it's very natural. So I would not say the front end and the back end in this sense is it's slightly different context. You will have your agent doing everything, and your front end can perceive and can build on top of that. But if in a traditional application, you have to have a very strict integration, but here it can be more fluid. Okay, so let's think about then what are the agent components. I would start with LLM as the brain because it gives you the core intelligence of reasoning and making the decisions. So when you are building an agent, you can say, okay, I can have a like a coordinator, an agent who can work through tools, okay? But the decision, the main brain of that agent would be an LLM because LLM have already been trained like these and they can perceive reason already. So we are using the power of LLM, but extending the power of LLMs in these agents. Then the autonomous systems. So basically, as part of an agent, it has an end goal and it can handle complex tasks. So I'll show you an example in the demo how it works. Like it doesn't say that, okay, it's not like a chat. It doesn't, it feels like a chatbot because you can implement an agent in various ways. But in a chat, if you are not responding, it doesn't ask you for more information sometimes. And if the agent has an end goal to accomplish, it is going to ask you right questions so that it has the information to perform that task and take it to the end. So that's how we will be able to build an autonomous systems. Then comes the concept of world interaction. As I mentioned that LLMs were pretty good. They were giving us all the answers what we wanted, but the information they already had was the data they fed, the data they already had been fed into. So when the model was created. But with agents coming in picture, the tools, it can be custom tools, it can be tools that are already available via libraries. So you can use those tools to interact and get some real world actions. So that's how I would say a normal chatbot powered by an LLM is different to an agent. Then learning and adaptation. So the continuous improvement that happens and how the agents are perceiving is quite important as well. So it can build upon your memory, but because it is like a slightly advanced topic, so we won't be covering it today in the demo. But this is also an important part of your agent component when you're thinking of building an AI agent and you want to have it is more like a context, I would say, but it is like thinking, but reading the previous conversation and understanding what was the ask. Here it will be like touching about the sessions and session management, how you can maintain a session and stuff like that. Okay. Okay, before I move on, anybody has any questions so far? Because next part would be just introduction to Google ADK. Okay. So here come a powerful toolkit, I would say, Google Agent Development Kit. It is quite a good development framework, I would say, because it gave you don't have to write Python from scratch, frankly. You don't have to expose your endpoint. You don't have to write all the big logic to create an agent, then expose an agent and work with other agent, then combine LLM. So there were like quite a lot of complexity around when people started building those AI agents. So Google took up a challenge and created, and they created a simplified version of it, that you don't have to do all these detailed implementation yourself. I can give you a framework. I can give you a kind of a library, which is like uh, in a developer's world, I would call it like a drag and drop. So you have the library available and you just need to know how to use it. So if I just use this method, so I'm going to define my agent. Then if I use this, then I have to just implement some tools, inject those tools, inject this LLM. That's it. It's a if you know if you go to the documentations, it's quite easy to have your first agent up and running. It's quite simple. Okay, there's one question. Are there apps not to use AI agent to build? Are there apps not to use AI agent? I didn't understand your question. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I'd just like to ask it. Thank you. Um, I mean that are there applications that are not safe to build with AI agents, like probably in the scenario of maybe Ed or legal applications because of the fact that they are very good with memory. So probably you don't want that memory, you know, outside, data is still compounding in that sense. So that was what I mean by that question. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. There are a lot of tools and there is a lot of things going on. And again, when I was building and I was looking at AI agents, and then you have so many things keep on coming, and you can build your agent in click and go. And there are tons of different ways to build your agent, but this would be an scenario if you want to build a productionized version of your own agent and have everything within your realm or within your organization and have all the control within yourself. I would say that, because you can define how your agents would work. You know the framework. The only thing, again, there are ways you can actually use an LLM that is running on your local machine or your enterprise version of your LLM, and you can inject that LLM and build your own agent via the ADK toolkit. Yes, there are other options as well of building agents like drag and drop and using tokens, but that is more for someone like prototyping, frankly. And we don't care much about security, as you said, as well, the memory and data leak and stuff like that. But this is more like a productionized version of your agent up and running and want to do a perform a task and nothing goes out of your organization. Everything is in your control. So Coming back to Google ADK, it is an open source framework. It is still very new. It was introduced in the April 2025, early this year, and they are trying to build, refine it. So you might find a lot of examples already, but the documentation is still getting updated. But still, there are lots and tons of examples and use cases that you can follow. And they have shared the samples on their GitHub repo as well. So all those resources are part of the slides as well. I'll share it at the end. It has multi-agent design as well, which we are going to cover in our next session. How with ADK, it gives you a capability that, okay, if your system is complex, your use case is complex, why not build a multi-agent system? And then you can think of trade-offs and use cases like, is it better to build a single agent, or do I need, or there is a need to build a multi-agent system? In my opinion, what I see on some of the productionized agents, simple single agents works better. So once you build your single agent with equipped tools, right tools and custom tools, when they're up and running, they are doing good, then you can have the capability of extending it to multi-agent, parallelism, serial sequencing, and stuff like that, complex part of it. But for now, the goal for you would be to learn these tools and know how these agents would work and how you can create them. The next good part of ADK, it is very developer friendly. I've not played around with the other like agent development UI stuff. I find it I'm missing something I can't see. From a developer perspective, I can't see what is happening, or I can't see how it is injecting and stuff like that. So it can give you a really hands-on experience, and it can tell you how, if you are used to building traditional applications, then it gives you a very flexible environment to build your own agents. Quick framework structure for ADK. What basically it comprises of agent. You can have simple, define your agents, and then they are actually the core of the system, and other interactions and actions are driven around these agents. Then you can have your agents linked to your tools. As I mentioned, you can actually have your custom tool. You can use some out-of-the-box tools. I have some examples where I can show you that you can use Google search as a tool, but I think if I remember for this example, this demo today, I have some custom tools that I've built, defined like a function tools, and you can just inject it in your workflow of ADK framework and use that for agent to work on. Runners, memory, workflow, and telemetry, they're quite advanced topics, because runners are basically components to execute your agents in various environments. And we are here just to learn the basic fundamentals of agents, how they are developed, and the session management and the workflow and stuff like that comes as part of multi-agents as well. But, and again, productionizing, when you are actually taking your agents live and you want to have your system monitoring, evaluation, and stuff. Okay, some comparisons of AI agents. As I mentioned, Google ADK is quite good for productionizing your agents, because you have a lot of control with your data integrations, how you want to tailor. LangChain, as I mentioned, it is more like a drag and drop as well. if I know, and there are a lot of LangChain tools also out of the box. But I find something, and with so many things around security that concerns as well, that when you try to use these library tools, you don't know um, what is underneath those tools. So it becomes challenging in this ecosystem at this point in time to validate whether this tool is secure. But organizations like LangChain would be doing their due diligence. But again, it's good to know at the in detail what tools you are using. If you are in need of creating some custom tools, or you want to use some prototyping for your agent stuff just to learn, then you can use LangChain as well. I don't know much about Super AGI, but it is dashboard style agents. I've not used it, but it would be really nice if you have a use case where you want to build some dashboard specific agents, then you can use that as well. And do let me know as well how it went. Okay, now let's see. So as part of a demo, what we are going to do, we are building a WCC mentorship coordinator. So as you know, mentorship is a big core part of the community, and a lot of effort goes in running this mentorship program, and we have to coordinate lots and lots of different tasks. So today's demo would be building an agent which can do some of the capabilities of a agent. Let me bring this. Okay, you can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay, just I'll give you. Oh no, this is not the right. This is the one. Again, it will follow the same structure as other sessions. So it is under session 4 AI agent. It will have a live demo structure. It has a starter template as well. And some use cases that you can try it out. Introduction of the README. It will give you what exactly we are doing as part of this session, what is an agent, how it is different and stuff like that. I think I have given some examples in comparison in the README also for you. All this stuff, if you have gone through the previous sessions, you should be familiar with. Let's come to live demo. Within live demo, also we have a README file that can guide you how you want to run the README, how you want to run this demo, and what is required. You basically need your Google API key, and then there are certain files that makes the core part of this demo, which one is, if you see, we have a different structure slightly. It's a mentorship agent. In the mentorship agent, we have tools, and this is agent .py. So this is the main file. It is simple as that, defining some components here, and your agent is up and running. So if you see, they are just these lines of code. I would say pretty 20-ish lines of code, and your agent is, I think most of it is taking the instruction, but if you go, it is just 5-6 lines of code, and your agent will be up and running. Just what we need Google ADK. The important part is we need a Google ADK library. So you can just do pip install requirements file, and all these dependencies will be imported. Then in this agent, what we are doing. So the main core part of defining an agent is this, and you have to have like a root agent. So how Google ADK identify that you need to have a root agent where everything kind of, you can think of as a base agent where everything will start from. And then you will, all these are just to give whatever name you can give. Then model is quite important, what LLM you want to use when you are running your agent. The other important bits are your instruction. What is the core functionality of the agent? What do you want the agent to do? So as I defined that, I want it to be a mentorship coordinator. It would be responsibility would be intake. So rather than asking every mentor and mentee to fill a form, it is like an interview user can collect. It becomes more human as well, that you are, somebody is feeling it right and they are the actual mentee or mentor who are interested in this program. Then if you see here, there are some tools that I'm going to explain very quickly. Then other responsibility of the agent is to do the verification. So I have kind of mimicked some of the bits in the custom tools, but again, these can be refined. You can refine your validations and verification process. And then responsibility 3 is matching. So I would like to match a mentor based upon their skills, based upon some of the bio data details that were asked initially when storing. Now, if you see here, I have defined some tools. So these are some important tools that I have defined like this. So you can see these are actually part of this folder. So these are all custom tools. And what is going to do, so instead of doing an actual fetch or an update to a database, which it can do, it can actually for now, for simplicity, it is going to create a profile.json file, and whenever an mentor and mentor profile is approved as part of the save profile tool, it is going to create that JSON file and update the profile details there. The validation part, again, you have some program guidelines that for a mentor, this is the eligibility. For a mentee, these are some eligibility. So if somebody is going to apply for a mentor and it's not 3+ years of experience, we are not going to save the profile, or we are going to say, hey, we are not, it doesn't adhere to our guidelines and we won't be able to process the application. Verification. So this is again some of the rules we apply in a normal coordinator task as well. That when somebody would apply as a mentor, we would like to do some kind of a verifications, like whether this user is valid, they have a valid LinkedIn profile. For now, I've just do a LinkedIn profile. We kind of ask some certain questions like Slack and etc. etc. So you can actually extend your validation and verification rules here as well. Then the third is the matching tool, where for now it is basically simply by skills. So it can actually take the data from the profile file and then match whether the mentor is a match or not. Again, as part of, if you want to play around, you can extend these tools. You can improve these tools, or you can build from scratch your own use case. Some of the use case, I have defined it here as well. So let's see, how do you run it? Here, if you see, I'm not in the right place. So I go to this, I go to my live demo. You have to do your ADK web. So ADK web is the command which will start. So another amazing part of Google ADK, they have given you a UI, a web UI where you can see as an interaction. Again, it would look like a chat, but it is powered by this agent. So this, just by giving this command, it is going to run a server, and so it has opened, but I can't drag somehow. Strange. Yeah. So this is the UI of your ADK agent. So I would say, hi, I would like to apply for mentorship program. You can see it is, are you applying for a mentor or a mentee? I would say a mentor. So my full name, again, all these can be refined. You can ask it to provide you a structure, etc., etc. Sonali, and then email, I would say G. Oh, and bio experience in tech and which, and yeah, I think I updated in skills, Java, Python. Again, you can do a lot of validation on this data as well if you like. Java, Python, AI, availability, was, and then LinkedIn. URL, something in the previous. Yes. Has gone wrong with my.
You using Pro?
I'm
Gemini?
using flashlight. Gemini,
That should
yeah.
be right. That's
Yes,
generally okay.
yeah, it works. Maybe it's the demo. Okay. Will it work now? Yeah. Yeah. So if you see here, maybe it didn't ask question, but it is trying to say, hey, could you please share your company? This is needed for verification process. So if I say score, and it has saved my profile. So it has, if you see here, this is a new file, and it has created all the data. And this pending validation, why we added it, because we want a human in loop for actual validation as well. So these all kind of validation rules you can apply, because then you want to change the status and approve it so that you can have it on your website. That's the normal way we also do it in person, as a person, as a coordinator as well. Then if you like, you can ask, can you find, okay, I would like to ask in a different session, because in this session, it already has my information. So it's like a a different session. I would like to or- again, it is going to ask me name, mentee, test, email, whatever, bio, one, experience in tech, and then skills, goals. You can see it has saved the profile in the same file with mentee role. Coming back, I say, can you find a mentor with Java skills? So when it does all these find mentor by skills, it is going to invoke that tool. So it has shared me that here I found a match and this is the details. So this was a short demo about how you can actually build an agent who can do all this stuff. You can look up the whole database, save your profile, and perform certain tasks for you. As I mentioned, a lot we can do from these agents, but I took a very small example or use case we would like to implement. But if you want to take up some inspiration, you can use these use cases. I think this is about an event scheduler agent. So you want to scheduling the events based on different interactions with different systems, and you can build your own use case around it. I've tried to give an architecture as well, like book a slot, and it tools like time parser, calendar API, and once it's booked, it can actually like it's scheduled. It can give you the details. The other very interesting agent you can build is a newsletter agent. I personally like this because it is not just for WCC, but you can think of creating a newsletter for yourself. Like you want to, you can build it very easily just using a Google uh, ground search tool, and it can actually pick up the relevant information on areas or topics you want your newsletter to be built on. And then you can have these different tools that can summarize for you. You can search, you can restrict. So all these different things can be done via these agents. And again, ADK can give you quite a good platform to build this on your own. Any questions? Any questions on the series if you would like to ask? Okay, here are some of the resources we can share. I can share it, some of the resources in the GitHub repo as well. Some of the AI agents, as I mentioned, LangChain, Crew AI, Llama indexes, which one I found recently. It is more around using RAG and indexing the documents. And then you have some agent tools, libraries, which you can explore. And then I think earlier this year, I did a course on Hugging Face as well, and they were heavily using some of the tools, already existing tools, and some of them from LangChain as well. So you can explore that too. Some of the recommendation resources for Google ADK. ADK documentation is quite extensive as well, and there are some sample projects in Google ADK which you can use just to get inspiration as well. Okay, you can ask me any questions if you want. What's next? So we have covered in session 4 the part 1, which is just building a single agent. In the next session, we are going to talk about multi-agent systems, and we will be extending how you can actually leverage ADK to span through the ecosystem of agents and use different capabilities as well. All for today. If you have any feedback for us for these sessions, for any of the content, we're happy to get and like revert back to you. If you have any questions, you can ask us on Slack, and for anything else, we are here. What is evals, and are they related to the sessions you have given so far? I didn't understand your question.
I can take this. So Rohini, there is a session. So basically at the moment we are building ADK. There is some things you can already do, like in terms of eval, but there'll be a separate session just for this after multi-agents. That helps. We haven't covered anything regarding evaluation yet. Yes. Thanks. Anyone else has any questions?